Hey everyone, welcome to the MatMadik channel. Excuse me. Yeah, so I, like I mentioned in the comments, I've been having the worst luck this week with my technical setup and whatnot. So I'm using this makeshift mic in the meantime. I may just stick to it if I don't manage to get one by Sunday. But hey, I need to get a new mic and a new camera, but this'll do. All right, you know what? And another thing I realized, until before getting back to your song reactions, I'm starting to feel another, one big reason why I love reacting to political raps and so on is because I'm quite into politics, and not just any old politics, but stuff that's typically hidden from the masses on legacy media channels. Case in point, right now, a great documentary has come out recently by a dude called DineshD'souza, and well, for some reason, nearly no YouTubers are talking about it apart from this you know person who's very ardent left and what the right must be saying are lies sets of people. But I got into a little back and forth, and somebody in their comments, I wish I could give a link to that video to show my thread going back and forth with people, but I forgot the name of the video. I can't find it in my history at the moment. But anyway, it's just essentially I was saying some people think Dinesh is lying about 2,000 mules because he's been to jail. He's a liar, and liars lie, and they never stop lying. Like, and I've seen 2,000 mules, and I'm like, geez, Louise, have you seen it? If you have not seen it, shut your mouth. I know they want to say to me, I know it's hard to believe, but he's a lying liar, the liar, la 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 la. And I'm like, okay, listen, tell you what, listen to me. I'll pay you $100, honest, if you can just prove to me that it's a lie. I'm humble and I'll accept that. They said, no, I make more than $100 in an hour. I'm like, no, I didn't ask you that. Look, just forget it if you haven't got any proof. But so anyway, another YouTube, well, a dude who's on YouTube now and then called the Salty Cracker. He put out the key points of Dr. DineshD'souza's 2000 Mules documentary, and I just wanted to just react to some of these key points and circulate it a bit. I know I'm kind of playing with fire after just having my channel ban lifted, but I'm doing little tricks to kind of see if I can skirt the system with a bit of audio in the background. If you think this is going too close to the fire, then let me know. Maybe I'll put it somewhere else. Otherwise, I just want to start doing more reactions to kind of stuff that is stuff that us patriots are really concerned about day after day, and a bit more and a bit of music, as opposed to just being music, music, music. Because at the end of the day, I'm looking to study pop culture and how us patriots can uh, effectively save society. What we do. That's why I love people like Samson, Loza, Tom McDonald, etc. You know. But that being said, I'm, you know, I'm, I'm really feeling to just dig right into the news early these days. But without further ado, let's just check out this one clip. I recommend you, if you haven't seen the 2000 Mules, go to the Salty Cracker on Rumble and just check out the clips that he's laid out. Starting with this one, 2000 Mules clip, number of mules per state. For those of you who don't know what a mule is, it's somebody who runs an errand for a criminal, pretty much. So that and if they get caught doing so, the trail is supposed to run cold with them. Who's set them up to do the criminal's bidding is supposed to be non-traceable should the mule catch them, provided the mule adheres to the no snitching rule apparently. Boy oh boy. But anyway, I just love the way that the Patriots have been tracking the voting system. And just so you know me, I've been saying this, screaming it from the rooftops recently. Trump won. Anyway, let's just let this thing speak for itself.
In Atlanta, 242 people that went to an average of 24 drop boxes in 8 organizations during a 2-week period.
This is that hit you. Listen to that one more time.
We identified in Atlanta 242 people that went to an average of 24 drop boxes in 8 organizations during a 2-week period.
This is an organized, as Biden said, system of voter fraud. I mean, I remember when he said that, and I reacted to it on my native level channel. Once upon a time, I used it. I said, dudes, either when Biden said we have put together the most extensive system of voter fraud in American history, like, either he's making one hell of a gaffe and he's not fit to be president, or he's telling you the truth and he's certainly not fit to be president. In any case, he's not even the president. But anyway, 242 mules going to 24 drop boxes each. I mean, so much for one vote per person. But anyway, let's let the thing play out for itself.
Let's move over to Arizona. How many mules in Arizona?
A little over 200.
A little over 200.
In Phoenix alone.
The reason I think this is all very significant is because these were very close states. Then you moved on to
Wisconsin, but our initial look was in Milwaukee. Gross numbers were a little down, but the average number of visits to the drop boxes was up. So instead of having only 24 unique visits, I think we averaged 28.
I mean, maybe I've heard people in Milwaukee are really hardworking, and maybe they just...
I mean, Officer Tatum, dude, I don't always, I mean, I respect the guy, but I don't always feel him all the time. Sometimes, he tends to just speak off the cuff with emotion, and sometimes his sentiment isn't, his sentimental expressions aren't always well thought through. But anyway, I respect the guy, but he did say, prepare to watch the movie and feel upset if you wanted, if you voted for Trump. Not just because you wanted Trump to win, which he did, but because there's evidence of cheating. Anyway, I'm just saying these words blatantly outright right now. I'm testing the waters. Some of you in the comments will be telling me, MatMadik, get this video done if you know what's good for your channel. I tell you what, if 3 people in the comments tell me that, I'll take it out. I'll put this video on private or something. But somebody's got to get the word out. Come on. Who was that lady who came on Fox? Not Newsmax recently, and I just said, all the stuff you're hearing right now in the news lately, even about abortion and all that stuff, it's a distraction from stuff like this. Why are these crazy Antifa goons in the streets coming up and making all this noise about something as of late, in the midst of you know, more pressing matters that people have to deal with? It's distraction. It's just people are just screaming in their face about abortion, and the abortion, and you know, especially when you're dealing with when they're screaming over laws that they already have a right to have their way with carrying out the way they want to carry out their lives in place. They want to scream about it anyway. It's like a kid having a tantrum, or 2 kids, let's say, a team of kids having a tantrum. No, sorry, let me rephrase that. A team of kids, one of whom having a tantrum in a in an area just to get every other adult's attention, while the other one goes behind and makes mischief. Well, like a team of shoplifters would do that sometimes. Watch 2,000 Mules. That's all I want to tell you. Anyway, let's just get back on this.
To the drop boxes was up. So instead of having only 24 unique visits, I think we averaged 28.
I mean, maybe I've heard people in Milwaukee are really hardworking, and maybe they just went overtime. And then let's go to Michigan.
We have more than 500 mules that we've identified in Michigan. Again,
Jesus.
the number of boxes is lower.
Now, where in Michigan?
Okay.
Detroit mainly, but we have people in Detroit that went to more than 100 drop boxes.
Let's go to Pennsylvania, critical state. I think it was Pennsylvania that really gave Biden the election.
Philadelphia alone, we've identified more than 1,100 mules at rates well beyond anything we'd seen.
And what are these red dots, guys? Well,
Closer to 50 drop boxes each.
I highly recommend you come to the channel. Listen, every day I'm gonna drop out one of these videos until I cover his collection, Mr. Salty Cracker, and then I just want to keep touching on these issues that people keep sweeping under the rug. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I love these rappers who are putting out truths and so on for people to reach the normies. I mean, what not Tom McDonald, what the Solid Crackers on here that he said is very well. I mean, of course, we're doing this hoping that DineshD'souza would be kind enough to let us just put out these clips. Is when you put out tiny little clips like these, that's how you penetrate and reach the normies. You can't give them some big, long-winded explanation as of how the election was solved. The same thing goes for like COVID-19. Um, you know me, I was all about saying there's no COVID-19. Da, 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 da. I'm on a David Icke thing, when the whole thing kicked off, all the way until like just very recently. Now I'm not saying that anymore because when it comes to the explanation ones, like the PCR tests don't work. They check up, they 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 bring up genetic material, dead RNA that doesn't prove that you have anything. It sounds good. I've said it so many times. It makes sense to me, but at first it was such a complicated, loaded statement that I'm like, that's not going to make any sense to anybody. All they know is that I feel sick. In fact, I felt ill recently, and that's when they finally bust out the ivermectin, and I'm starting to feel like, wow, I wish I was taking this before, but hence I even said to Mr. Obvious, like, oh, you just said where did the flu numbers go? Now you're saying you had COVID. So what are you talking about? I wouldn't keep pushing this COVID word. I'm not pushing it myself, but at the same time, when people see things on a certain level, they got problems that appear to be evident right in front of them. People tend to just accept what is simply right in front of them more than the truth, which may appear to be more complicated. But until you can express truth simply, people won't understand the nuances in what you're trying to say. COVID-19 indeed may not have been. I'm just going to say may not have been, which I actually believe it hasn't. May not have been real in the first place when it came to the whole 2020 push. Everybody get this and everybody get masked up and 6 feet apart and all that bullshit. But and yeah, and I say of course what they put into those shots. Well, that's what's kind of doing the rounds right now, and that is something. Let's just say that wasn't around in 2020 as much as let's just say is been circulating as of late. But in any case, simply put, if somebody feels ill right now, just take ivermectin. That's a lot much simpler remedy to an issue rather than just denying somebody's situation in a way that they don't understand why you're denying it. I'm just gonna try and change my tone a bit more. And to David Icke, kudos for you for encouraging me to be red pilled in the first place. You when you sense that something is pushing you down either a good or a righteous path, if you don't understand it in black and white terms to yourself, and if you can't convey it that way to other people, and convey it as such to other people simply, then you're going to end up confusing yourself at one point, and then it'll just be meaningless. So kudos to Salty Cracker for putting things like this in simple terms. Kudos for Joe Rogan for putting out his experience with ivermectin out in simple ways to explain to people that the drugs that can remedy people with respiratory illnesses like that we found have been hiding and so on in the mainstream and legacy media have been pushing down and so on. And one way or another, people, I'm all about finding actual solutions, actual remedies to problems, and stuff like this is what we need. So, yes, I'm going to be doing more of this kind of content. I'll get back to the reaction to music videos on Sunday, but even then, I'm going to pick choice videos to react to and focus more on this political stuff. I think this needs more attention. And little 1 minute clips like these, nice and bite-sized. So, without further ado, people, I'm going to wish you a good day and run off to work. But thank you so much for coming by. Check out this video on Rumble. I'll leave links in the description. Without further ado, I'm out. Where we go one, we go all people. Let me know what you think. What do you think about this? Peace.